last episode, I broke from my usual format of sarcastically putting something down, and instead decided to focus on a forgotten piece of media that I actually greatly enjoy and recommend. Well, now that that's over with, it's time to be a smart aleck again. This is Santa with Muscles.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a revved up Chevrolet. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a revved up Chevrolet.
Well, we've already seen what happens when they put Bill Goldberg in a Christmas movie, so why not do the same with Hulk Hogan? Santa with Muscles is a 1996 film that was such a flop at the box office that for a long time it was never put on DVD or Blu-ray. Not only that, but over the years it's gotten a reputation as being one of the worst movies ever made. Although, given some of the movies I've reviewed on this show, my expectations might be a little different than most people.
Dear Santa, how are you?
So the movie opens with, now that I think about it, a pretty rushed way of establishing our movie's premise.
There's this really, really bad man named Ebner Frost who lives up on the hill. He's got these weird people working for him. We used to be a happy town, but now people are moving away because Mr. Frost has been so mean to them. And now he's trying to take our orphanage away from us, and nobody can stop him.
Openings like that are often a double-edged sword. On one hand, it often means that the movie's not going to spend too much time establishing a simple premise. On the other, it's usually a sign that the movie's really bad.
This might be the last Christmas I spend with my friends. I know it's only a few days until Christmas, but please hurry. Yours truly, Elizabeth Bentley Walsh.
And, as fate would have it, her answer comes in the form of a bodybuilder named Blake, played of course by Hulk Hogan. In this movie, Hulk Hogan plays a billionaire who sells supplements and bodybuilding equipment. Aside from that, he seems to spend most of his time by giving Jason Friedberg ideas for future movies, apparently. Now, of course, it goes the way you think it would. It's not real, they're just servants. But hey, I can't accuse this movie for being boring.
Make a note, Chaz. Make it rule number... What number are we up to now?
385.
Right. Make it 386. Never mix business with pleasure.
Oh, come on. I always mix business with pleasure on my show. Unless I have a deadline. Then I'm usually pretty stressed.
Let's roll!
But while playing paintball, Blake and his guests get the attention of a cop played by Clint Howard. He's in this movie?
Gotcha.
Wow! Even when Clint Howard's not killing someone, he's a riot. But when one of Blake's guests jumps over his car, he mistakes them for terrorists and gives chase. Why not just pull over and explain the situation?
Hey, why don't you just pull over?
Yes, thank you!
Rule number 20. Never surrender. Besides, this is fun. Give me your paint gun.
Of course. Normally Blake's reckless behavior would make me angry, but knowing Hulk Hogan, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually did something like this in real life.
We'll lose him in Lakeville. There's a million places to hide.
Of course there is. Well, I am very disappointed by this movie. I was told this was one of the worst Christmas movies ever, and so far, there hasn't been a scene that's been incompetent. It's just been weird. So weird, in fact, that I wouldn't be surprised if London Tipton was in this movie. Funny you should say that, Silver. Brenda Song, who plays London in the Sweet Life series, actually appears in this movie.
What are you doing?
We're Santa's little helpers, and we're gonna take this money to the orphanage for him. Beat it, kid.
You are not.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Mosby was in this movie. Well, it was worth a try.
Did you get these disinfected?
We then cut to the estate of a man named Edner Frost, who wants to buy and destroy every business in Lakeville. And how does he convince business owners to sell out?
Comfortable?
Get me out of here! Get me down!
I'm Ebner Frost. I'm so glad you could make it. I do hope we can reach an agreement on the sale of your shoe store.
I'm not selling my shoe store!
Well, since you're going to be hanging around a while, let me introduce you to my staff of scientists.
You are going to make such an interesting fossil.
Some find the scent of methane gas offensive. But I like to think of it as nature's perfume.
Sad thing is, I heard this is how Disney convinced George Lucas to sell out.
Spring.
We then cut to the Lakeville Mall as Blake finds a Santa costume and uses it as a disguise. But his cover is blown as he hides in the garbage chute, which, coincidentally, is where this movie was hidden until it was finally put on Blu-ray.
Another drunk mall Santa.
Blake wakes up with amnesia and is convinced by an employee that he's the real Santa Claus.
Santa!
What?
You're Santa Claus! Santa!
If you're wondering why Blake was told that, it's because Lenny just wants to take his money. But the funny part about all this is, he's still a more convincing Santa Claus than Tim Allen.
They love you!
But the more Blake interacts with the children, the more and more he starts to believe he's Santa Claus. And after two guys get caught trying to steal from a charity stand, I'll admit this fight scene is actually pretty fun.
How about 2 months?
After he defeats the crooks, he sees that the charity stand is for the orphanage and decides to make it his mission to save it. Which works out since Frost wants to destroy the orphanage, and his henchmen try to kill an employee with an ice cream truck? Oh, no, you're doing this all wrong. Clint Howard is the one supposed to be driving that. Didn't you see my review of Ice Cream Man?
Well, most of our audience is on YouTube, so no, they probably haven't.
Of course, Blake saves the guy, and with the town seeing him as a hero in a Santa suit, he manages to get the whole town to support the orphanage. And as you can imagine, Frost doesn't like this at all.
Thank you, Santa, for putting the orphanage on the map.
Well, that makes me so angry that it bleaches my hair and curls my lips.
Does he remind you of anyone? Something about him seems familiar.
Of course. I saw him last year at this time. And
Mr. Producer, what just happened?
I think the review crashed.
Wait, what? How?
Bunny rabbit.
Oh yeah, I forgot. This is a Christmas video.
Well, time to kill some goblins. Listen up, filthy goblins. If you don't want your souls to get eaten, I suggest that you get out the computer. Surprisingly delicious. If only they were actual meals.
Okay, I managed to get the computer fixed. That's the good news.
And the bad news?
The Gremlins destroyed 80% of the script. I'd rewrite it, but we don't have long before Christmas. We'll have to cut this review short. Do you think you can recall enough of this movie to finish the review?
I think so. As the film continues, we learn that the reason Frost wants to destroy every business in town is, and I'm not joking here, there's an entire cave under the town filled with crystals that hold some form of energy. And rather than calling someone about this amazing find, Frost wants to destroy every business in town, including the orphanage, so he can access the caves better and have the crystals all to himself. Okay, I'm starting to see why people didn't like this movie. Like the whole Mars needs a Santa Claus plot point from Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, this plot point is so stupid, especially for a Christmas movie, that it jumps the shark. Which is good because now I get to explain what jumping the shark is. It's when a creative work does something that's so far removed from how it started that it makes everything before that point look tame. As a result, this plot point is so stupid and nonsensical that I absolutely love it.
What is it? What happened?
So, the next day, Edna Frost sends one guy to handle the situation. Wouldn't it make more sense to send everybody? And I have to admit, while the fight scenes are silly, they are still a lot of fun.
Santa, you slay me.
Unfortunately, Blake gets thrown off the roof by probably the strongest animatronic Santa ever, as he lands in a garbage truck and wakes up in his manor remembering who he is.
What happened?
I was hoping you could tell me, sir. A gentleman, waste disposal engineer, in fact. He caught sight of you in his dumpster. And recognizing you from your products, he fetched you back here.
This movie, on the other hand, was left in the trash. Mill Creek Entertainment had to do a lot of dumpster diving to put it on Blu-ray.
Takes care of Santa Clown.
And so the movie goes through that tired cliche of what I like to call the third act breakdown, where everyone is sad, mopes, and it looks like it's going to end tragically. I hate this cliche. Not only is it overused, but it's been overused since the early days of film.
It's Lenny.
Lenny! How are you? I tried to call, but
Forget it, big guy. There's no time. Mr. Frost is trying to take over the orphanage with his goon squad. He's got his pet scientist everywhere. He's trying to get in the vault, and when he does, he's going to use the kids to mine the crystals.
But thankfully, Blake gets word that Frost has taken over the orphanage and gets his servants together to form a rescue. And of course, Clint Howard mistakes them for terrorists because of what happened earlier.
let him try some of Blake's Way salad oil. No cholesterol, only 3 calories per serving. And it goes down smooth.
What the?
Here's a little suggestion. Rather than risking getting caught and sent to jail, why don't you tell the cops what's going on? That way they can help you. Thankfully, they lose the cops and make it to the orphanage. Unfortunately, the entrance is being guarded by one of Frost's men, so I'm not gonna lie, I actually love what they do here. See, that was stupid, but at least I'll remember that. In fact, this whole third act is really fun. I like how they take out all of Frost's henchmen, and seeing Blake interact with the people running the orphanage is really heartwarming.
Isn't it coming back to you yet, son? You grew up here. Look.
Is that me?
There's more. You see the boy sitting right next to you? He was your best friend, Ebner Frost.
After all the henchmen are defeated, Blake makes his way down to the caves for the final battle against Frost. Wait! I know exactly what to do for this scene. Blake wins the fight, but the crystals end up creating too much energy and are ready to explode. Luckily, they manage to get everyone out, but the orphanage is destroyed. That was actually a really good effect. So the crystals are destroyed, Frost and his minions get sent to jail, and the movie ends with probably the most appropriate way possible. Blake uses his money to turn Frost Manor into a new orphanage and even helps run it. Why do I think that's the most appropriate? Because despite how bizarre the movie's been, it ends like an actual Christmas movie. The power of evil fails and goodness prevails. So that was Santa with Muscles, and honestly, I don't really think it deserves the title of worst movie. Like I said before, it's not really that incompetent, it's just, well, weird beyond belief. Most of the choices made by the characters make little to no sense, and a lot of the plot points come out of nowhere, usually at random. So I can definitely see why a lot of people didn't like it. If I wasn't aware of how much hate this movie's gotten, I may have hated it too. But since I was already expecting it to be bad, I wasn't really disappointed. So do I recommend it? Well, that's a little tricky. If you're looking for a nice, calm movie to watch with your family on Christmas, you're probably better off watching a Rankin Bass special or something. But if you like movies that are this random and crazy, there's a lot to like here. The action scenes are fun, and some of the characters are amusing, particularly with the villains. I'm a bit too torn to say whether or not I like the film or not, but hopefully, watching this video can help you decide if this movie is the right kind of dumb for you, or the wrong kind of dumb for you. But I'll at least say this about the film. It's still better than Sonic Prime.
Burn!
Well, it's all for now. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Unless Merry Christmas offends you for any reason, in which case, Merry Christmas, brother!
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a revved up Chevrolet. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a revved up Chevrolet. A day or two ago, the story I must tell. I went out on the snow, and on my back I fell. A gent was riding by in a rusty Chevrolet. He laughed as I lay lying there, but quickly drove away. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a revved up Chevrolet. Hey, jingle bells,